In August of 1994, we had decided to take the trip to the Black Hills as a semi-high adventure for the older scouts. Todd was probably 15, going on 16 when we planned it, and was actually 16 when we were out there. And on the way out, we stopped in the Badlands. We'd gone to a scenic overlook, and boys being boys are pushing and shoving and having a good time. And in the middle of one of those episodes, Todd falls to the ground and is not moving. He's not breathing well. We can feel a racing heart rhythm. We start CPR. I've got a registered nurse. Doing CPR on your own son is something that I hope nobody ever has to do. But we couldn't make it work, and it took forever for emergency services to arrive there. They loaded him into an ambulance. They loaded me and Trent into a highway patrol car, and we headed for Rapid City. It's a 2-hour drive. We get to the hospital, and eventually Trent and I meet with the doctor, and he's the guy that tells us, no miracles today. He's gone. And I knew that my wife was in Keystone with a friend of hers. So I'm headed to Kingstone looking for a car in a parking lot and hoping there's somebody in the office that can tell me where my wife is. I did take a psychology semester in University of Iowa, and I did learn a little about the 5 stages of grief. The 5 stages are essentially anger, denial, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And I knew where I needed to go. I knew I wasn't going to get there by myself. So I prayed. You can do a lot of praying in a dark car in the middle of the night on a strange highway. I asked for the strength to accept the cards I got, and they were there. The strength was there.
The biggest thing is I went to God instead of blaming Him and turning away from Him. I very intentionally did not demand an answer of God of the question, why, God, why? Because I knew there was no answer to that question here on earth. So that helped me a lot. And I felt almost palpably the presence of God, the grace of God on me for living those, especially those next few days.
We didn't know what had happened to him, and we didn't actually have an answer until about 3 months later around Thanksgiving time. The doctor who had done the biopsies came back with a story of an infection that had lodged in the middle layer of his heart muscle. That's the layer where all the electrical stuff goes together, and it short-circuited his heart. And if he'd been in a coronary care unit with trained physicians at the ready, there wasn't anything they could do for him, which I think is a gift for us who were there in the field, and we couldn't get the job done. That is a relief to know, but it doesn't change anything. You have to deal with the grief.
I have a lot of women, especially, come up and say, I don't think I could have done that. I just couldn't have handled that. And I said, I didn't have the grace to deal with that the day before because I didn't need it. But the day that I found out, that was when God gave me the grace to deal with it.
If anybody understands what it is to lose a child, God does. And now we do too.
Mm-hmm.